Now we are live here in Las Vegas on Radio Row. Jake Sorensen, Jay Foreman here, and we have a very special guest, Orange Cassidy.
You gotta get that belt.
Yeah,
in there,
look at
man.
this right here. Get this belt in there, right there. Look
turn
at
your
that
camera.
There it is,
got
right
you.
there. There it is.
This is my AEW International Championship, and I punched a lot of people in the face to keep this. I carry it to the ring in my backpack because it is very heavy.
So are those belts? That's real gold?
I mean, hey, you can try it. Hold it.
That thing is heavy.
Just don't.
Yeah. I gotta put that on too, man.
They want to try this, feel it out.
Look at, oh my God, it's like,
Jake, your arms are getting.
yeah, this would be a good
bigger.
workout right here, man. Be a good workout. That is, it's a hell of a good looking thing there. So, all right, so Orange, you are in town this weekend. What tell us about AEW and your event coming up on Saturday?
Yes, so we decided to do a professional wrestling show before one of the biggest days of the year.
Right.
Right here in Vegas. And it's going to be AEW Collision, which will air on TNT at 8 p.m. on the East Coast.
Right.
It'll be from 8 to 10. And I am here because I decided to do something dumb and defend my international championship against Tomohiro Ishii. And if you don't know who that is, they call him the Stone Pitbull in Japan.
Right.
Because he will headbutt my chest in, headbutt my skull in.
Oh, boy.
And I still don't know why I accepted it. But here we are.
Right.
I figured, might as well before the big game get thrown around by a Japanese legend. So here we are.
But you're going to be thrown around, man. You never back down from a fight, right?
Yeah, I don't really throw. I do more of the lure you in and then punch you in the face very hard.
Right. So you're a counter puncher then.
I
right?
am. Yeah. Yes. Counterpunch is the perfect word for that.
So how long have you been in the business?
I've been professionally wrestling for over 18 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. And I know that because every day I wake up, my back is sore, and I don't remember things.
Right.
You know how it is.
Yeah, man. But still, I think people always talk about dog years. You got professional sports years is a little bit more taxing on the body, man. But I wanted to ask you about the wrestling business, right? And everybody sees the productions on, in this case, Saturday.
Yep.
And in your case, just last night, you know, where they don't understand the grind that you guys do on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes even going to two cities, sometimes within 24 hours.
Yep.
Talk about that as much as you can, because I think people would appreciate what you're willing to do and able to do this come Saturday night.
Yeah, and if you don't like traveling, then you will not like being a professional wrestler.
Right.
I do like traveling,
Mm.
and it can be exhausting, and it takes a lot out of you, just that alone on the travel. But I also can't describe the feeling of when you come out in front of however many thousands of people,
right?
And there to go, like there is that really drives you, that makes that bumpy plane ride not seem so bad, because there is that at the end of the tunnel of relating to fans,
right?
And I think professional wrestling offers something that most forms of entertainment doesn't.
Right.
Like you can't go see a Marvel movie and then start yelling at the screen for Iron Man to start punching harder, and then Iron Man will.
Yeah.
If you go to a professional wrestling show, if you yell at me, I'll do better.
Right.
Because you're yelling at me and I can feel that. And I think that's something that people don't really fully grasp with professional wrestling. It is unlike anything else. So like going from town to town, yes, it can be tiring, but the fans are what makes it worth it. And being in AEW, we're actually pretty lucky that our schedule isn't as taxing as it was probably when you're thinking of like the 70s and the 80s with Ric Flair. They're going town to town to town to town to town.
Right.
They were. But I think we're also wrestling at a way different level than that. And we're fortunate too because we have a show Wednesday night, show Friday night, a show Saturday night.
Wow.
And then it's travel, and then there might be a pay-per-view on Sunday.
Right.
I stay busy and I make sure I sleep.
Right. Talk about that. People don't understand. I was talk to my partner over here, Jake, about, I played football, but I always talk about the walk out, in my case, to the stadium, and as you get closer, the goosebumps, the body, the adrenaline, the focus, until you've been there, you don't know it. Talk about it for you, because I know, even whether it's the travel or not, once you kind of put your stuff on and you get that, I guess, I don't know if they give you a 2-minute mark or whatever before you're supposed to hit the stage.
Right.
Once you get right before that curtain, it's on. Talk about that feeling, because I think it's something that is pretty unique.
For you, what was your walkout? Like you probably had a song that you loved, right? To like that you came out of the tunnel or whatever it is. Like professional wrestling is no different than that.
Right.
Like I picked the song I come out to, which is Jane by Jefferson Starship, which is a real song.
All right.
And that's what AEW
taking us back a little bit.
Yeah. So AEW is different than that. We actually have real music that will play, and then there's also other stuff that's made. But like that song for some reason gets me going. And I wear a denim jacket and Ray-Bans because I just feel like I'm in the zone, right? That's like it makes me feel better, it makes me perform better. And because you do feel that nervousness, maybe goosebumps, stuff like things like that are consistent helps you focus and get ready. Like, okay, I hear Jane, which I hope everybody goes and listens to the song Jane. You're gonna be like,
I know, so we're good. I'm gonna check it out.
You're gonna be like, he walks out to this, and I'm like, yes. Up. And before that, I came out to "Where Is My Mind" from the Pixies. So you can look at all those and then say like, what? But that gets me ready. So it is. And I don't think unless you've done it, you don't know.
Yeah.
So
walk us back. You've been 18 years. You've been fighting for, right? Okay. Yeah. Now, where do you hail from? Where did you start? Where were you born at? Where were you raised at?
I don't like to say I'm from anywhere because I've been everywhere. So like when they say like, oh, Orange Cassidy hailing from, they just say wherever.
Okay.
Because that's where I'm from.
Right.
But I really did start to travel a lot on the East Coast.
Okay. And
I did a lot of stuff in Philadelphia, New York, Jersey City, all the way up to Boston, Rochester. I did it all up and down. It's a lot of traveling.
Where did the love? I mean, because to do what you do, you got to love it. You just can't just kind of. I always say you just can't stick your toe in the cold water. You got to jump head first. But where did the love come from? Because I think that's also a unique story as well.
Yeah, growing up, you watched it, and I went to some live events, and I just felt that thing, that connection, like that I was affecting the show, and it just stuck with me. And then you get older, and it still sticks with you. And you get a little older, and then you start watching other promotions, and you think to yourself, I could probably do that. So you go in the backyard with your friends, you start beating each other up, and then 20 years later, you're still doing it. So it's just the connection that I had, and the feeling of performing in front of all those people and doing the art that I want to do is the thing that keeps me coming back.
Have you ever had a chance to, I guess, wrestle or have a huge match against somebody that maybe you grew up, wouldn't say idolizing, but watching and say, man, I might take that from what he's doing?
I have been very fortunate to wrestle a lot of people that I never even thought I would be in the same room with, let alone professional wrestling ring with. And for example, I didn't think I would be wrestling Jeff Jarrett for this championship in Canada for a Shazam Fury of the Gods 2. Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods match. It's just one of those things I don't really think about. I just think, well, what's next? I stood and stared Jake the Snake Roberts in his face and gave someone a DDT.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
but I can.
Yeah.
So I did.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very grateful to have those people. Like Sting. Yeah. Sting is one of those guys I never thought I'd be, that he would be doing what I do. So
AEW, man, because I grew up with the whole, was NWA and way back in the day.
Yeah.
But AEW has taken off, and in my opinion, the last 5 years, and from my calculation, probably even longer. what is allowed it to really just punch a hole in the marketplace, and it's not just it's a weekend thing or like a big match. It's here to stay. You're getting household names. What is it about AEW? What you guys do that makes it so appealing to the masses?
I mean, I'm going to make this about me, but I'm just going to do it. But you mentioned NWA,
right?
And
I'm dating myself.
No, you're not, because the owner, Tony Khan, I'm sure you know who that is. He loves all wrestling. He loves he watched all that growing up and everything. So he likes all different types of wrestling.
Right.
I am an example of why AEW is different than what else you see, is because I would not exist in any other promotion.
Right.
They wouldn't let me do what I do. Like, I put my hands in my pockets and I beat people up.
Right.
Like, I don't.
Hey man, that's cool.
Right. And but that's the thing, right? I don't think I would even be able to show that in other places, because they'd be like, "Oh, that's stupid."
Right.
We only do things one way.
Right.
And I think here at AEW, like, you're going to see a technical wrestling match, then you're going to see a guy take a fork out and stab another person in the skull.
There it is.
And then you're going to see a guy put his hands in his pockets and drop kick somebody.
Right.
You're going to see luchadors flying around the ring. I think that's what separates AEW.
Right.
I think it's like you come to a show, you're going to see all different types of wrestling, just not jacked up, beefy men.
Right.
So I'm very, very grateful.
How often is somebody getting stabbed in the head by a fork?
I've been so.
I gotta know.
You're scared, my man. You're scared, my man.
I'm going to tell you this. We had a show called All In this past, I think it was end of August, at Wembley Stadium in England, in London, England. We had close to 80,000 people watching us wrestle. And I stood in the ring and I put my hands in my pockets and I drop kicked Jon Moxley. And then I leapt to my feet. And then when I turned around, Jon Moxley stabbed me in the head with a fork. And I still have the scar on my head in front of 80,000 people in the biggest wrestling show ever.
Right.
So it happens a lot.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I mean, listen.
You can go look it up. I'm not
sure
making it up. I promise.
If I saw that live, I'm not even sure how I'd respond.
Yeah, my man he does not like eating blood.
That's not even the worst thing that happens. So.
Yeah. Well, again, tell us, where's the match? What time? Saturday night?
Yeah.
In Vegas?
So this Saturday night, we'll be in Henderson. It's like right down the road over there.
Yep.
You go to AEWTix.com to get some tickets, because they still got some. You're going to see a great show there. Tony brought in some. I mean, he brought me in, so you should probably go see me.
Right.
Try not to get beat up by a Japanese legend.
Right.
And this also, you can also catch us on Dynamite on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on TBS. And then there's also Rampage on 10 p.m. on TNT on Fridays. And Sting is having his last match ever on March 3rd for a pay-per-view called Revolution that you can find at AEW to see that. So it's Sting, you know. You got to watch Sting.
Yeah, we got a lot of listeners that are wrestling fans.
They are.
So
great.
Yeah, and we got some that are right here in Las Vegas.
Well, if they're wrestling fans and they know who I am, they probably were thinking to themselves, wow, that's the most Orange Cassidy ever said in his entire life. So you guys
we'll
brought
take
it out.
We'll take that as a compliment, man. We appreciate you coming on. Appreciate what you do, because I know it's a lot of travel and tough stuff, but that's why you're the champ, man. Hey. And I will tell people that belt is real.
That's heavy, man. That's real stuff.